Jesus, I found my light. With Jesus by my side, I conquer every fight. Walking in faith, I won't be afraid. His love surrounds me, my fears will fade. Hope is my anchor, love is my guide. With Jesus I'll overcome, I'll never hide. A warrior of strength, in His name I rise. In a world of chaos, His love never dies.
She's an award-winning author, speaker, owner of GodlyGranny.com, and podcast host, sharing the truth with you. This is The Michelle Moore Show.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad you're here with us today. All right, we got a lot to cover. I want to tell you first and foremost, we've been working hard about the Wave Watches. So it turns out that Wave Watch did have a watch for the Veterans Program. And so that veteran has been notified. She's all excited. And so, sometimes what I have to do too is we have to look at, like, what do we think the Wave Watch would help with? Different people have different ailments. And so we have to look at that as well and kind of take all that into consideration. There were so many people that entered. And so by the time it's said and done with, we're going to give away 5 watches. Isn't that great? So 2 people already know that they're getting it. And we've got 3 more that we have not notified yet. And I'm actually working to see if we can give another one away too. So I've sent an email, so we'll see. So that puts us at 5. We may have a 6th one. Every day it just keeps growing. What do you know? So anyways, but I'm not going to announce who won until the people that won have been notified. And so that's what we're in the middle of doing. And so wanted to let y'all know that's going on as well. So Purple Knight says, yep, was down near freezing here in Northeast Ohio, but not to worry. We still have lots of chemtrails yesterday and today. Yeah, right. Ferguson says, Ohio weather has been crazy. Our skies a few days ago looked like a child went crazy with a marker. We actually had a frost last night. We've been having weird weather too, Ferguson. And so that's interesting that you say that, because I almost said something on the show about it a couple of days ago. So that's interesting. Okay. I wanted to tell you too, I was reading through the entries for the Wave Watch, and there was a gentleman named Steve that had entered in. Now, Steve, you didn't get it, but Steve, you were asking about kidney stones. You said, I deal with kidney stones. And I know that Linda Bammer has said that kidney stones with the Wave Watch has some great success rates. But here's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about, before you get to that point, you need to drink fresh squeezed lemon water in every night, 1 glass. That's all you need. So here's the details, because people will ask me all different kinds of questions. I haven't covered this in a minute, so I'm going to cover it today. It made me think about it. It was like, oh, well, Steve just don't know. So we're going to tell Steve what to do. So Steve, I used to get kidney stones about every 8 or 9 months. And this went on since my early 20s. And it went on until my mid 30s. So it went on for a minute. And so I have not had a kidney stone now in 17 years. What did I do? Well, let me tell you. I started squeezing lemons, and so now I use organic lemons. Who knows if it makes a difference? But I use organic lemons, and I put it in distilled water, and I drink that, and I put ice in it, which is from the freezer out of my fridge, which has a filter on it, plus our whole home filtration system. So it gets filtered twice, really. And so, okay, so we do that, and every single night, it's a thing. Like, I always have lemon juice. Like, the world's coming to an end if at night I don't have lemon. And so just want to give you a heads up. And then people always say, but how much lemon juice? It's just to taste. And so over time, I've liked a little bit more in it than I started out with, maybe. And so, but the big thing is, water in its purest form is distilled water. If you don't have that available, you can do reverse osmosis water. I go by what Nathan, my iridologist, recommends. And so that's what he says. And so that's what I do. But not the lemon thing that you buy where it's already been juiced supposedly. And all. No, get the lemons, the bag of lemons. And then what we do is I'll either squeeze them or have one of my kids squeeze them for me, or my husband. And so we'll squeeze the whole bag at once. I get a mason jar out, and we fill it full with the mason jar. And so that way at night, when I go to get a thing of ice and I scoop out the glass and the ice thing and the ice maker, and then I put the water in, I pour a little bit of the juice in there. So the lemon juice, and drink it. So 1 glass, that's what Michelle ordered. And it works. I have not had a kidney stone since. And you're like, but Michelle, well, here's how I found out about it. I was at the grocery store at Publix, and I was waiting on the person in front of me, and they were talking to the cashier, and I look up, and there was a Women's Day, whatever magazine. And it was like, get rid of your kidney stones with fresh squeezed lemon water. And I had just heard somebody that was a neighbor saying, oh, I heard that fresh squeezed lemon water helps kidney stones. So like a week later, I see this on the cover of the magazine. My jaw dropped, and there you go. So just wanted to let you know. Let's see here. So Goji Queen 51 says, praise the Lord. Due to your coupon code, Michelle, my daughter got me the Wave Watch for Mother's Day. Wow. Wow, that's awesome. I have worn it a lot since then. It's wonderful. Thanks. That's so great. That makes me so happy. NH Mama says, I make lemon ice cubes. Ooh, that's good. Do you put it in warm water in the mornings? That's supposed to be like the first thing you take. I like ice though. I just can't do the warm water like that with lemon. I just can't do it. But is that what you're doing? And some people will say honey. So drop a little bit of our honey, Godly Granny honey in there. There you go. Ferguson says, okay, I read that. WR Carr says, I have been wearing mine almost nonstop for the last few days, and it really helping my hip pain. That's right. Getting old is not fun. LOL. Another thing that might help you too is Pain Terminator cream. It just helps. I love it. I'll tell you, I was having problems with my foot, and I was putting the stress relief magnesium cream on my foot, not for the pain, just for stress relief. And I knew that I was short on magnesium. This was when my eye was still twitching and all that. Didn't even know that was going to be helped. But anyways, and so I end up using it, and it helped. The pain is completely gone. I have no twitching. Like, there's a whole list of stuff. It even impacts the way your hair looks, all of it, shiny. Grammy says, wild time at the city council meeting last night. I bet it was, girl. New citizens are showing up and calling them out. Good. I could feel a shift of concern with more people becoming aware, never giving up the fight. And that's what I was saying yesterday. Steve was saying, well, we just let, you want to live your life. There's a balance. You can't get, weary. Right. And so, but you've got to not ignore what's going on. We have to be aware. We just want to make sure that you don't get weary and that it doesn't get too much. It has its place, but you still have to have joy, right? And so that's a big deal. Let's talk about a couple of things. Producer Ron wanted me to let you know. This looks so good. I'm watching this. I haven't seen this one yet. The Dog Doc. And so he says this is about holistic remedies. I'm very interested in this. Y'all know I love a good holistic remedy. And so I can't wait to see what the Dog Doc has to say about different remedies for different ailments. But he has been able to extend dogs' lives using different holistic remedies, and I can't wait to see it. So that's tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I'm not here live, and so we do a documentary or an educational video. Many of you know that really what that's about is it's just us being obedient to the Holy Spirit. That is something that the Holy Spirit showed me to do back. I guess the show was about 5 weeks old at the time, and I came into the she shed. Producer Ron was out here working, and I came in. I was like, Ron, so let me tell you, I heard the Holy Spirit, and this is what he said. And so ever since then, we've been doing educational videos and documentaries. And at the time, the Holy Spirit was showing me that so many people, it was really a common problem. We'd all watch something and we'd be telling somebody else about it an hour or two later. And, we'd maybe meet a friend for lunch or something. And it's like, ooh, have you seen that video about such and so? No, send it to me. And you're like, oh no. where did I see it? So the Holy Spirit showed me that people would know where they saw it because they know they saw it on the Michelle Moore Show Rumble channel. And so that's where that comes from. We've just been so obedient in that, gosh, for over 3 years now. And producer Ron has completely executed this so well. I don't think at the time we were doing 5 days a week shows. And so with me live 5 days a week. So it wasn't until I was like, Ron, I need a little bit of a break in the middle of the week. This is a little much. Five shows a week is a lot. And so what we decided to do was to make Wednesdays just a great time to be able to watch a documentary or an educational video of some kind. And so that way, different people in different walks, and some people know some things that others don't. And so we just, have something different all the time. And so it's so great. So I wanted to let you know that. Okay. Decreaseman says, I freeze the lemon juice in ice trays and then put them in a Ziploc for easy access for my morning lemon water drink. Sometimes I add a pinch of Redmond sea salt to my cup. Yeah, that's good. Except don't use the freezer bags. Have you heard about the lawsuit that's going on? Apparently Ziploc is in some trouble because they've been lying about the whole thing with the bags. And so put them in keep them in I would keep them in the ice trays personally. So just heads up on that. I just saw that like a couple of weeks ago. So just craziness. Geez, they lied to us. Who's shocked? Not me. Okay, Pierre's Mom 1 says, it's so nice to have the chats on your days off. That's nice. Yeah, we still do it, and that still gives you the chat. So I like that because I know y'all, it's a family, and y'all get to chat and have time. And so I know that's important. And sometimes I drop into the chat and see everybody going back and forth and sharing all different kinds of things. And so I think it's great because it still has that chat there. If we didn't do live, then you wouldn't have the chat, and we really want to make sure you have that. Okay, so we have a lot to cover today. I wanted to make sure that I told Steve. Now, Steve, so now you know about kidney stones. We want to get you to not even have the kidney stones, so that way you don't even have to worry. Let's see. So we got an email from Barbara, and she says, I wanted to thank you for the encouraging gift included with our orders. About a month ago, I was feeling particularly weary from health issues. Never know what someone's going through. You never know. Never know. That day, I received my Godly Granny order with the card that states, for I know the plans that I have for you, as well as a pen. She's talking about an ink pen, reminding me to pray and not to give up. These reminders made my day, along with the little Jesus that I love. If I receive any more of those, I will definitely pass on to friends because everyone needs a little Jesus. Well, we got Big Jesus. We decided, I told producer Ron we were going Big Jesus. And so we do sell those figurines now. That's kind of a brand new thing. I think they're still on sale. The 5% is good till tonight. And so just heads up on that. So, and it's a 3-pack. And so y'all are buying them up. And so, but they're Big Jesus. I forget. It's like 38% larger, 32% larger, something like that. They're less of a choking hazard, all that kind of stuff. So just heads up on that. So I'm so thankful for your mission to not only provide us with insightful information, but also clean products and encouraging words. You have a beautiful mission from God. Your podcast informs, encourages, and amplifies our voice. Thank you. And then she says the pens, talking about the ink pens, are awesome. P.S. That's so great, Barbara. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep that. Years ago, I was selling real estate. This was years ago. Wow. Woof. I was like 26. Yeah. I was selling new home construction, working for Zaring Homes. And I started a file folder. And it was, one of those manila file folders. And I just write encouragement on it. And all these years, I will file things, an email that I'll print or a card that I receive. All these years, I have slowly added to the encouragement folder. And so I don't even look at what's in there, not even once every 5 years necessarily either. I've been terrible about it. I think I've been recently thinking one day I'm not going to be doing the show. Things will have slowed down. And I will sit down and really read back through all these things that I've received and printed and all that. But anyways, but since doing the show, the folder got to where it was just not going to hold everything. And I have been so blessed by you guys who, whether it's my birthday or it's something to do about North Carolina when we were doing that, or just whatever, sharing different things that the show does or means to you. And most of the time I print it and I will put it in the folder, in my encouragement folder. And so, because I'm like everybody else, we can have discouraging things happen. And so anyways, okay, so I got to tell you about something else. So, Mark Taylor's been out for a few weeks. He's doing renovations. We love Mark. He's got a lot on his plate. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so it's a lot to be on shows. It's a lot to guest on a show. It's a lot to do a show, all that. And so there's a lot there because you just are opening yourself up, and it's just a lot in so many ways. And you just don't know unless until you experience it. And so not complaining, just sharing. It's just what it is. And I know it's a lot on Mark Taylor. And so, so we've had Steve Jarvis here for the last few weeks, and y'all have been loving him. Well, I got to share what happened. So viewer Michelle, she sent me an email and she says, involves Steve Jarvis, please read. And so it says, hello, Michelle. First and foremost, I want to wish you a beautiful and a very happy Mother's Day. The story I'm about to share with you is an incredible one. Together, you and Steve Jarvis saved the day. On Monday, May the 4th, I watched your show with Steve and was completely awestruck to learn about this moon phase calendar. Now, here's where my story begins. The weekend prior to your show was my husband Scott's 65th birthday on Saturday, May the 2nd. We had made plans to celebrate all weekend. On Friday, May the 1st, Scott tells me that he's seeing floaters in his right eye, but he's not having any pain or discomfort. I suggest that we make an appointment with his ophthalmologist. So I picked up my cell and called the doctor's office and made an eye exam appointment, which was scheduled for Monday, May the 11th. Okay. Meanwhile, as the weekend passed by and the new week began, Scott's vision worsened. Now the floaters have turned into lots of little bug-like specks, and his peripheral vision is gone. On Tuesday evening, May the 5th, he tells me that he's heading to the doctor's office first thing Wednesday morning. If they won't see him, he's off to the ER. Wednesday morning, I attended my Bible study and asked the ladies there for prayer. As I began driving back home, Scott called and to tell me that his retina in his right eye was detached and that his ophthalmologist had sent him over to the retina specialist's office for further examination. Frantically, I drove there to be with him and consult with the doctor. After examination, the retina specialist scheduled Scott for emergency surgery Thursday morning at the nearby hospital. Quietly, my head was spinning out of control. Back in 1992, the day prior to Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving Day, my mother's retina detached and she had to have emergency surgery to save her eye. The doctor who did her surgery inadvertently botched the procedure and she never recovered her normal eyesight again. Just hearing the words retina detachment triggered me greatly. I can only imagine. Oh my goodness. As both of us returned home late Wednesday afternoon, which was May the 6th, my throbbing brain reminded me about Steve's moon phase calendar. It was almost 4:30 at that point. As I sat at my kitchen table, I went deep into prayer and then into my Rumble app to find your show from May the 4th. I scrolled down underneath where you provide show links and saw Steve's number to text for purchasing his calendars. I immediately made his number a contact in my phone and sent him a text. I don't have Venmo or Zelle set up yet, so I just went on faith that Steve or his wife might see my text before 5 p.m. Wednesday evening. As I continued praying, I was crying out and pleading with the Holy Spirit to answer my prayers and intercede on my behalf to make sure that my text was received by Steve or someone else who could assist me before 5 p.m. Well, what a blessed surprise to me when my phone rang around 4:47. I answered the phone and it was Steve calling me. This incredible godly man with his unique and comforting laughter called me and took the time to look at his calendar for May the 7th to assure me that it was not a red X day and that Scott's surgery would go smoothly. I had the pleasure of talking to him about other issues too. I'm still in shock. My husband's surgery Thursday morning, May the 7th, went extremely well. Every single hospital staff member we encountered was nothing short of kind, considerate, thorough in their job description, and attentive to Scott's needs, etc. He gets very anxious about having to undergo any medical procedures, but last Thursday, from start to finish, it was clearly evident that God's Holy Spirit was present at every juncture, comforting and protecting Scott and guiding the doctor's hands with wisdom and skill. I have you and Steve to thank for this wonderful experience. You never cease to provide education and assistance to your viewers. We are your friends and sisters in Christ too, to help us continually improve our lives. I have so much gratitude for you and am ever thankful that you began the Michelle Moore Show years ago. Your obedience to our Father has richly blessed so many of us. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. With love and affection, viewer Michelle. And says, Steve told me someday he'd really like to be given an honorary doctor's degree. She has some laughing emojis. I would say that would be a demotion. But that does not surprise me about Steve. And I'm just so glad that her husband's surgery went well. And so I wanted to share that with you. Let's see. So, and I forgot to read it yesterday. I meant to read it and print it and read it while Steve was on. So I have not spoken with Steve about this email and what happened. He didn't tell me about the phone call. He never even mentioned it. And I'm not surprised. That's kind of how we end up doing it. We're just so busy. Sometimes it's like trying to just drink from the fire hose where we're just taking care of people and trying to take care of the next thing. Okay, so let's see. So Pierre's mom says, it's nice to have the charts on your days, or the chats on your days off. Yes. KM Sunshine says, I'm doing laundry and using the new liquid laundry detergent today. It's dreamy, isn't it? Y'all have been, oh, she won that. That's right. So that's why she's texting or commented on that. So she won that. Remember when we did the latest Godly Granny show where where you could do like a review and every 10th winner? Okay. So that's what happened. The funny story though, is that her name is the same name of another customer, and it got the laundry detergent got sent to the wrong customer Karen. And but I happen to know there were two customers with the same name and that name. And so when the one that got it by accident wrote me saying, I don't know if it was a mistake or just a gift, but thank you. I looked at the name and she happened to put her city and state, and I knew that was a different Karen. And so anyways, I reached out to this Karen and was like, hey, it got sent to the wrong Karen. And so it's on its way. It's been delayed. Jake Churchman says, your hair looks amazing, Michelle. Well, thank you. I told producer Ron that it's like it just got long all of a sudden. It's like overnight, it just feels long. And so anyways, but I use, as soon as I get out of the shower, I think I've told y'all this, that heat protectant that we have, I'm telling you, it's just amazing. And it also, I was explaining to someone yesterday, I used to use something else, like to dry my hair out straight. And I used to think, oh, there's no way any of this is good for me. There's just no way that this has got to be filled with stuff. And so this has been so great because it's like a 2-in-1. And so it's got the silk amino acids and it just locks in all the nutrition and gives you that shine, but then also is your heat protectant. So I love that. And that's the first thing I put on when I get out on my hair, when I get out of the shower. No Nonsense Netta says, about those cards, my daughter and I love unboxing Godly Granny together, and we get a card and we got a card that says, I have a right to do anything. My daughter said, look, Mom, Michelle said I had a right to do anything I want. I don't know what that's about. I have a right to do anything. I told her, you had better read that again, this time from the Bible. Yes, I don't know what that's about. So it said I have a right to do anything on the card. I would want to see that. You're going to have to send me a shot of that one, honey. Becky Lee says, tears, tears. That was such a great story. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. And D. Creasman said, what a wonderful testimony. Thank you for sharing this testimony. And W.R. Carr said, wonderful story. It is, right? I thought that was so great. And then Deborah West said, that is an excellent testimony. I think so too. So good. So, okay. Producer Ron, if you'll put his wife, Lynn, Steve Jarvis's wife's name is Lynn, her cell phone in today's show description. So if somebody wants to get the moon phase calendar, they won't have to go back and look up that show. I sure would appreciate it for everybody. GL Star is on YouTube saying hi, everyone. And Susan Pittman as well saying hello. And the Off Grid Suburban Project. So hello, everybody over there too. Okay, Producer Ron's working on that for you as well. All right, so remember yesterday while Steve was here, we were talking about, the breaking news about the fire down in Florida in the Everglades. Well, I said, I wonder what's going on with the future stuff for the land. It didn't take long for a video to surface. We want to show it to you. Look at what's going on with the Everglades fires land. What's planned?
The Everglades are literally being burned down right now as we speak. But hey, it's not like it's for the data center that's being built right here. This is Project Tango, the new data center being built in the Everglades, which I thought was supposed to be a national park. But guess what, guys? They don't care about that either. But the good news is this is a smaller one, but it still uses more power than Jamaica in total, than the Bahamas in total, and Nicaragua just to operate. But guys, I know what you're thinking. Isn't this just going to be so great for the people of Florida? It's going to create so many jobs. Nope, only 40 to 50 people can work in this huge facility. Keep in mind, the billionaires who are building this literally get a 60+ million tax write-off, but again, only employ roughly 40 to 50 people. The 60+ million in taxes that they're avoiding would have gone to fund roads, schools, emergency services, but no, the billionaires can do whatever they want. The good news is if you're a homeowner and you live next to one of these things, they're now predicting that your home value will go down at least by 5% just from the noise that this thing makes. It literally can be 90 to 120 decibels, which is the equivalency of having someone next to your ear with power tools. This is the reality.
This is our cold water pressure in the kitchen. This is where I fill up water for storage. Those are the things we have to fill up to flush the toilets.
So you can see the sediment from the data center. Wow, and that's just from the water coming out of your faucet.
Yeah, and this is what's in all the pipes.
Just the well itself is probably 20,000, and that's not counting any of the
all the
faucets.
replacement of the fixtures and faucets
just
and
the well.
toilets and the lines that come underneath the house. It's overwhelming because you
These need to be
really
banned.
feel like you are up against this huge wall that you can't penetrate. There's nothing that you can do, and they don't care.
We the people need to wake up and speak out against this. There's already one in every single U.S. state, and they're only getting bigger and taking more of our freedoms, our rights, and our resources. Let's wake up.
Okay, so I know many people kind of struggle with finding in our show description about where to go and get links and stuff. So Steve's wife's phone number is area code 208-875-9499. So if you're wanting to see about the moon phase calendar, you can text that number and Lynn will take care of you. She's great. With the moon phase calendar, I think Steve quoted $12 for it. I'm going off memory. I don't know. So I think it's just for May. And so she says it's just $12 for the month of June and $12 for each one. Yeah, I think it's just per month. And so, but I don't know if you order the whole year, what that price would be. You'll have to ask on that one, honey. Okay. So, yeah, Project Tango, who knew? I mean, we could kind of see it coming, right? Okay. So look at this one. So we've been talking so much about data centers. Look at this one. So in Utah, this is what happens when the government doesn't fear the people.
Scroll up. This is beyond a joke. Be quiet, Can you be quiet and let our citizens hear what needs to be said, please?
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of what happened. All those people were there, and guess what? It still got approved. The data center still got approved. So that's what I mean by look what happens when people don't. The people aren't feared. The government doesn't fear us. We the people. This is what happened. Unbelievable, and that happened in Utah. Okay, and this is happening all over the country. I know of a small town called Cave City in Kentucky where this just happened last night, where they had a big meeting. Looks like the people won so far, but you got to stay at it because you think, okay, this has gotten put to bed. It's over. No, y'all know exactly how it works. Grammy says the data centers in Virginia now have the right to dispute the taxes that they are supposed to pay. They have their loopholes to avoid taxes, right? And so it's crazy. And what's happening is they're getting millions and millions and millions of dollars of tax breaks, but yet there are so few jobs. Like, why? Why are they getting these tax breaks? I'm talking tens of millions. I'm not talking 3 or 4 or 7 or 8. I'm talking like 40 and $50 million in tax breaks. That something's wrong with that. And you're talking about all these jobs that are being promised, and then it ends up being like 40 jobs. That's not adding up to get that kind of a tax break. No, you need thousands of jobs. Pierre's mom, one says, I have lived in Naples for over 40 years, and they have yearly fires. It just never makes the news. Yeah. I think it's interesting though, that this one with the Everglades though, because the Project Tango, I thought this was interesting because we keep seeing where these fires happen. It tends to be all of a sudden plans for the land, or like with Hurricane Helene, there's some plans for the land. And, they've got some natural resources and it's just crazy. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, have you heard what's going on in Nashville, Tennessee? This has been going on for a minute now, and I've been waiting to see how it kind of shakes out. I actually know Dennis Ferrier. I should probably have him on the show so he and I can actually talk about this in even more detail. But Dennis Ferrier is the local newsman in Nashville. He actually interviewed me years ago when I was searching for my mother. And so really nice guy. In fact, he's the one that also interviewed me after Carson's accident. My son had a bad accident when he was 10. And on the 1-year anniversary, there was a interview that we did with him. And so just a really, really great man. And he is a believer. He's a Christ follower. He's just an amazing man. And so, and a great daddy. And so, but he's been following this and doing stories. And this has to do with small businesses and how I think they're going to end up being, there's going to be some businesses that are going to end up being taxed out of business. Take a look at what he is covering with these business owners and listen to what's going on.
This is a list of 300 Nashville businesses surviving the ups and downs in the life of a small business. But now they have a problem that their hard work and ingenuity isn't solving. That problem is Metro Nashville. This is the Modern Dog, a boutique in East Nashville for people who love to spoil their dogs.
Essentially, we're like a Whole Foods for dogs, either the clusters, even like this.
Turns out it's a great idea. Danny Swigert has opened a second location. This is the American dream in action that just got into a head-on collision with a huge $400 a month property tax increase.
And I don't want to have to pass on the cost to my customers. Like, I want them to come in here and feel like they're getting the experience, but not overspending on everything with me. And so we have to eat it. That $400 a month is basically healthcare for one of my employees.
Danny knows she's too small to get an audience with the mayor, who earlier this year chose not to meet with Nashville icon Tom Morales of Acme Feed and Loveless Cafe fame. She doesn't think it would matter anyway.
I just think he is playing ignorance, I don't know, or he's just out of sight, out of mind. Like, if I just ignore them long enough, maybe they'll lose their business, someone else will come in and I won't have to hear about it.
7 and 8.
On the other side of the county, a very different type of business, but the same kind of passion driving it.
Excellent.
Ironhouse strength and conditioning in Hermitage is in the DNA of Jeff Black.
Come on, let's go.
Born with a crippling bone disease, Jeff answered that life obstacle with a passion for bodybuilding.
Let's go.
Now his gym is a beacon for people groaning toward their fitness dreams. But the recent property tax hike puts all of this hard work in jeopardy.
If you had ever told me 11 years ago when I got into business that I'd be sweating what my local government decisions were in terms of the long-term effect of my business, I would not have believed you. But now I lay awake, and I don't lay awake about the competency of my staff or anything like that.
No, Black lays awake worried that Mayor Freddie O'Connell and the city council will tax him into oblivion.
As you know, Mayor O'Connell said, hey, if you guys don't want it, somebody else will take it. And I'm like, looking around like, well, who are those people? I want to know, because I'd love to meet them and I'd love to show them my numbers, because the numbers don't math for the long-term future. Like, I don't know if my business could sustain another 60% increase over in the next 5 years. I mean, what am I going to do? Charge $300 a month for a gym membership?
Jeff Black believes Mayor Freddie O'Connell does not understand his role as mayor.
I think Freddie wasn't ready. I think what we did was we elected an activist and not an activator.
These two hardworking small businesses are not alone. This is the Nashville Property Tax Coalition. 300 business and property owners united over property tax. This isn't landlord versus tenant. This is landlord and tenant. Everyone's suffering with what to do with these tax bills. Christian Paro has contacted every single person on this list. This isn't Chicken Little. The sky really is falling. Paro says at least half of the businesses on this list could fail in the next 2 years.
This is a real-time unfolding crisis that will get exponentially worse throughout this year.
So what will Mayor O'Connell do with this list, with this property tax crisis? We asked him during our Fox 17 town hall.
But I also know plenty of good business owners. They're going to look at ways to absorb the cost, just like Metro. We have to tighten our belt from time to time.
But has Metro really tightened its belt? Mayor O'Connell's budget calls for no major cuts, and local businesses are offended by the comparison.
Anytime they don't like their budget, they can go back and collect things. So for me, it's been more of a letdown of seeing just how they're inept on business and what's really going on.
Mayor O'Connell is proposing a property tax relief fund. The details are not set, but the mayor is suggesting up to $50,000 relief per legacy business. More on that when we understand the process, the bottom line, and who will be eligible and who's not. I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Okay, so, this is just so crazy. So I smell skunk, and let me tell you what I'm thinking, okay? And y'all tell me what you're thinking. So, okay, let's think about this. During, COVID, what happened? A lot of businesses went out. In fact, there is a business not far outside of Nashville that had been in business for over 100 years that just couldn't make it through that period of time. They ended up going out of business. They lost the entire business. I think they're coming after small business owners one way or the other, any way they can possibly come up with. And now what they're doing is they're trying to tax out of business these small businesses that have been in Nashville, Davidson County, Nashville, Tennessee is what we're talking about. They've been in business forever, and they can, $400, like that lady said, that's an employee's health care. And so, which, we have health care, but I've been telling my husband for months now, just cancel it. It's a con too. And so what are they going to do? What are Hispanics doing? You think Vanderbilt Hospital is turning away an illegal in this country from the hospital? They can't do that. In fact, when I spoke with Vanderbilt told me that they literally write off millions of dollars a year. Millions. So what are they going to do? Turn you away? And so anyways, and then that's a whole nother rabbit hole I've been down that we're going to talk about soon on the show, is how much is happening with the healthcare. Like, you've got the cash price, and then you've got healthcare price. And if you have healthcare, that price is higher than cash price. So you go to the doctor and they charge you less if you don't have healthcare. And so see how that's working. And then there's a lady that I listened to her testimony, actually a few ladies now, where her prescription went up in price once she got healthcare. Something's wrong with that. Okay, so Pierre's mom 1 says, I wonder if the child care centers run by the Somalians have to pay in taxes. I know, right? No, there's no telling. But hey, they're not in Nashville. Nashville's where all the crazy is happening. And we're talking about like businesses that have been around for decades. This is part of the, just the benchmark of Nashville. And so listen, at the very beginning of this, they said a list of 3 500 businesses. Some of these businesses are literally getting charged hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the truth be told, there's already businesses that have gone out of business because of property taxes in Davidson County. This guy is just a leftist loony. He's probably a liberal like you ain't never. And he is an activist. And I think these people can't stand people like like the ones we saw today that, you know, they're out there, they're working hard. They put their name on the line by signing a lease and having a business. And here they are just trying to make an honest day's work and getting taxed to death by our government, like by the local government. So 56 Pontiac says there is a meeting here, 1 day notice in Madison, Indiana. I think is where that is. I think that's what you're saying. And so very small town, reading about how they get the local politicians to sign NDAs so then the secrets blossom. Interesting. Yeah, you'll have to let us know. Are you going to the meeting, 56 Pontiac? Tonight, are you going? I would be interested to hear how it goes if you go tonight. So make sure to check back and let us know, or send me an email so I can read it on the show. Okay, I got to tell y'all something funny. This is just an example. Well, it's not really funny. It's just kind of a warning, I guess. You know, this is what a lot of my day is right now, is checking into things. And so here's one for you. Have you ever heard of nail concealer, like fingernail? So it's fingernail, toenail, like concealer. So I'd never heard of this. And so I thought, what is this? And so there was a link and I went to it. And so anyways, long story short, you have to really dig to read a full ingredient list. I've noticed here lately, I've really been looking at ingredient lists. I say here lately in the last year, obviously because of Godly Granny, I look a lot at ingredients. And so it had, and so the whole thing was that, oh, it's buildable. You can put, and by the way, I got my nails done yesterday morning and I have no polish on my nails. And the same thing, I got a manicure and a pedicure. And so I took a foot fizzy and I took my therapeutic massage oil, and that was it. So as you all know, I take my own stuff, and now I'm actually getting ready to have my own box there. But I am not putting polish on my nails anymore. I've been sharing with you that I've been taking my own polish. Now I take my Noni Plus dry oil, and he used that as well, but he used the therapeutic massage oil. You know, when they usually put lotion on you, well, I use massage oil, so I use that. But I put a pain blend foot fizzy in the water, and so there's 2 per package. So I have the other one in the little box that I bought. And so I'm very excited because I'm going to just have it there and I don't have to worry about always having all that with me. And so I'm excited about it. But anyways, yeah, it's just, if y'all have not used the Pain Blend therapeutic massage oil, make sure you do. If you get any kind of like shoulder hurts and any of that, it's perfect. Or of course, Pain Terminator. But I'm not at that level with Pain Terminator. And I also use, instead of stress relief, right now I'm on a jar of the Day Focus, and I love it. I love the texture of it. And so we're also talking about some inhalers and different things, but the fact of the matter is nothing works as great as the skin, going in the skin. And so we already have what works the best. And it's the same thing with the massage oils even. And so going through the skin is always going to be best. And so it's so interesting. But let's get back to nail concealer. So I start looking at this because it says, oh, if your nails are yellow, it'll conceal that. And I thought, well, I mean, they're making it out like it's healthy. In fact, they're very much so making it out like it's healthy, to the degree that the person recommending it is known for healthy things. So I'm like, this is interesting. Well, we get to digging, and I send it to Eve as well. And we get to digging, there's aluminum in it. Plus, I'm like, why wouldn't you just check and see why your nails are turning yellow? Like, are you a smoker or is there something else? Like, it was like, oh, it covers up yellow nails. And like, well, but why are the nails turning yellow? And so why wouldn't you address that? But anyways, and so it had dimethicone. It had a bunch of stuff in it. And I love what Eve said. She was cracking me up. She said, oh, I'll tell you what she said because I don't want to paraphrase, but she made a great point. Let's see here. She said, when it has dyes in it and stuff. And she says there's a couple of good ingredients to try to sell it. But if you put vitamin C in rat poison, it's still rat poison. And so I thought that was good. But it also has colorants that are about to be illegal. And so, yeah, it's just not good. So I see, she goes, I would never cover my nail beds with anything like a polish. It's like sunglasses, blocks out the important things. And so just want to mention that to you. You know, everybody's in a different place of their walk. I have to tell you, this is hard not having nail polish on. And so I don't have any on my toes either and all that, but I'm in that phase of my, you know, waking up and walking the walk, and that's where I'm at. And so, you know, but I don't know. When my son gets married, will I have my nails painted? Maybe. I don't know. And so, but right now I'm, you know, really focused on trying to live that healthy lifestyle and making the right decisions. And I had come across another video that was talking about when you have your nails painted, that it interrupts the receiving of things that you just need to be able to receive and just touch or feel or whatever. And so I think that, you know, it's just nothing good about it. And so, but we just get into these habits or what we like and the way we like that we look or whatever with nails. And so painted. So anyway, so I wanted to share about that, but it's got aluminum in it and it had all different kinds of stuff. It was crazy how bad it was. But it was being pushed by somebody who was known and kind of has a whole platform of being healthy and was like, oh yeah, it's on my link tree and pushing all of that. So I clicked through to the link tree and then clicked through to see what is nail concealer. And it looked a lot like a polish and it was buildable and all this stuff. But yeah, it was actually terrible. Terrible. No Nonsense Netta says, I take one medication. It's roughly $587 a month with insurance. It's $137 without insurance. Crazy. Yeah, I'd be canceling that insurance. So anyways, that's insane. You're right. No Nonsense Netta. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you about that. And then also I wanted to show you this video that was talking about the spiritual truth of honeybees. Let's take a look.
The spiritual truth of honeybees that they don't want you to know. This knowledge is so powerful that if everyone in the public knew it, we would put entire industries out of business. Ones that force medicine down our throats, it would get rid of the need for us to go to the doctor all the time, and it would unlock an exponential amount of healing in society. I recommend you save this and share it with every person that you know. This is the first thing you need to understand. Every single thing we consume absorbs the energy of the environment it was created in. I spent a week with a shaman in Costa Rica learning about this. So why are bees so special? Because they emit a healing frequency, and everything is a frequency. Their buzz can help with pain relief, inflammation, and immunity. Also mood, appetite, and sleep. And so if you really internalize this, you'll realize you can absorb the energy of the bee. This is why honey is so powerful. It's also why you've seen the bee pollen trend skyrocket.
Well, that's true. I mean, we call it a trend, but yet it's not really a trend. It's just people are realizing what bee pollen and honey does. And so obviously, Godly Granny, we've got the bee pollen and that and the honey. Y'all are loving the bee pollen and the honey. The stories that we've been hearing too about how great everybody's been feeling. Of course, our honey has no water, so that means no preservatives. And so it's just as clean as it'll be. It lasts 100 years. And so it's different than what a lot of what we see at the grocery store. But when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's so good. I want to share that. I have noticed we have a couple of bees that are hanging out around the back of our home. We have, wood ceiling under our covered porch, and they keep drilling into that, and so we see sawdust kind of looking stuff on the furniture, but they're back again this year, and it's just one or two, so I'm not about to do anything to them, and we're going to let them do their thing and hopefully not ruin my ceiling under my porch. Becca says, let's see here, Becca in 85 says, I wouldn't worry about painting your nails anymore. For your son's wedding, just have them buffed and moisturized to a high shine. Yeah. And so, yes, exactly. And I like what Pierre's mom one brings up. It stinks when you walk in a nail salon. You can just smell the chemicals. It's just crazy. And so, I mean, I'm already was only just getting my nails done when most people, like 99% of the people that go in there, are getting all the acrylic stuff done. And I don't even want to know what all's in all that stuff. No, 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 no. Okay, WR Carr brings up something that I wanted to bring up. So she says, I quit using polish a long time ago because it made my nails yellow when it came off. So I haven't had that. But what happened, and I think I shared this, is the last time that I went to the salon where I'd gotten a pedicure. So it was like 6 weeks ago. My nail guy, his name's Johnny. He goes by Johnny Cash. I don't know. So what's your name? He says, Johnny Cash. So that's his name. He's Asian. And so is that really his name? Probably not. It's probably something else for his last name, but he tells me his name, Johnny Cash. So Johnny tells me, I say, why do I have this white speck on my toe, my toenail, my big toenail? I've never had that before. And he says, oh, it's the polish. He says, most women don't polish their toes, like their nails, in the winter. And so he says that way it goes away. And I'm like, So this has been a long time coming. That time I didn't get toe or pedicure. I got a pedicure, but I didn't get polish on my toes. And I didn't do it again this time. And so we're going to kind of see how all that goes. But that's just weird. And so I was like, this has been going on for like a year now where I've had this one little spot, and I kept thinking it would grow out. No, not growing out. Christ Believer says, I have 25,000 or more bees on my heel. What do you do? Like, what do you mean on your heel? So are you like they're around your home, or what's the deal? You got to tell us what's the deal. They just leave you alone? What's up? Okay. Carpenter bees. Yes, that's right. And drilling to lay eggs. Oh, great. Yes. And so it says your porch, it's carpenter bees drilling to lay eggs. I didn't know about the eggs part. Thank you though, but they're drilling and they are carpenter bees. That's right. Okay. So let's keep going. The gas station. Have you heard about the new scam? Let's take a look at this. This is crazy.
That one doesn't have it. Those first two. This one does have it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's over here. Bro, I'm telling you, like people here trying to make a living, and come on, bro. This one doesn't have it. This is in a shell. Look, another one. Look, another one. All of them. This is insane, dog. Crazy. You're going to get my money, bitch.
Okay, so what's going on is it's like when you go up to the gas pump, it's keeping that like as though you never turned it off. It's not letting that click off. I saw in the chat where we had someone asking about honey for dogs. There is a specific honey that is good that we have that is good for dogs. I'm trying to remember which. Oh, it's the Wildflower. So Wildflower is the one. I think that's a homespun. And so that's the one that you can give to dogs and is actually very good for dogs. Very good. We have it in a 3-ounce jar or glass jar, and then we also have it in 12 ounce. And so, we're discontinuing a number of honeys, but Wildflower we will always have because of that, specifically because we want to make sure we take care of our fur babies. So just wanted to make sure you knew about that. So Wildflower honey. Okay. Christ Believer says the bees, come out every year in March and leave at the end of April. It looks like ant hills. That's crazy. Okay, so let's keep going. We got a lot to cover. What if somebody asks you to change seats? You're on the airplane, you're minding your business, you're fixing to fly somewhere. Someone comes up to you and says, hey, will you change seats with me? What do you do? What do you say? Take a look at what happened here with an airplane where a person was on there, was being asked by a woman to change seats. Look at what happened. What was going on?
Never switch seats with someone on an airplane. I just saw a guy online talking about how this woman asked to switch seats with him and he just didn't want to. And she started making a scene. And so the flight attendant made her sit down and they were about to take off. And then air marshals got onto the plane and arrested her. And apparently she had stolen someone's identity and she'd been flying all over the country and just getting people to switch seats with her so that she wouldn't get caught.
Okay, so and you know what I would think? I'd be like, well, if there was any kind of an accident, they've got you on the roster as that seat, that location. Don't be changing seats. Okay, the next thing. I thought this was interesting. So this Gary guy is talking about what causes sunburn. Obviously, we know that you're supposed to go out in the sun. If you want to be out in the sun, let's say for a few hours on Saturday, that you should go and sit out in the sun for a good 20 to 30 minutes a day, Monday through Friday, getting ready, getting your skin ready. But listen to what Gary also says about what causes a sunburn.
Hey, Gary, what causes sunburn?
Sunburn. Oh my gosh, if you only really knew. We didn't have sunburn 75 years ago, 100 years ago. How come we didn't have sunscreen back then? Heavy metal inside of our tissue, when the sun hits it, that's what burns. I used to burn my whole life. I was 15 to 45 minutes in the sun. Today, I can go out for 8 hours. I get red, but the next day I'm brown. Don't use sunscreen for your body, the heavy metal.
All right. Interesting. Also, I saw something else that I wanted to share about, but now I'm not seeing what it was. We'll come back to it. Okay. I absolutely love the Godly Granny honey when I can get it. However, we have been buying honey from our butcher too. It's helped a lot. There is a whole thing about the honey. People will ask, like, does it matter if it's local honey or not? There's a whole process that's done with our honey that gives you those same benefits as a local honey. We'll cover that next Friday when Eve is back, and we'll go through all of that. She and I were talking about that last week, and I said, I don't think we've talked about that on the show, and gotten into those details. So we're going to get into a little bit of details for you, by the way. Okay, so when I did the Michael Jackson show, remember there was an episode a couple weeks ago where I went deep into the whole Michael Jackson stuff, showed you a bunch of videos and different things. Okay, so, and then since then I've done a little bit here and a little bit there. Well, I found the video that I did not have a clip of. And so this guy goes into all different kinds of stuff and rabbit holes, and, he does stuff all the time. And some of you may recognize him, but he has the clip in one of his videos. I happen to see it this morning. Somebody tagged me in some of these videos and on True Social. And so I get to looking and he's got the clip. So there's two clips. He's got one of them. But I think I mentioned in that show about how there's a whole thing about, is Michael Jackson really alive or dead? Y'all, everybody has their own opinions and suspicions, but here's the thing. I had seen a video that was supposedly Michael Jackson the night that he was supposedly dead, getting out of a van. And so who knows if it's the same day, but it was in a parking garage and all that kind of stuff. So here he goes. He says this guy has it in his video. So listen, let's see what he has to say. Let's watch.
Are you stuck on that first layer of their onion? Well, I'm here to help you dig through it a little more. And by first layer, I mean this. Michael Jackson was murdered. The death certificate amended by the coroner after police investigation. Let's take a further look. Here's said death certificate, and when you take a closer look, you can see that the first layer of the onion that they want you on is that right there. They want you stuck there so you don't know the real truth. The truth that's hidden right in plain sight. And before I go any further, TikTok, this is just for entertainment purposes. It's not even my opinion. It's just a joke, a literal joke for entertainment purposes. So please don't take this video down. It's a joke. But since it's a joke and we know it's a joke and we mourn the death of MJ, let's look at some things like this video of a helicopter recording him going into a van right here. Look. Well, I have good eyes and I have good video breakdown. So what I did was I took a little look at that plate right there. And what I also did was I compared that plate to this plate right there of this suspicious looking video of someone that moves and looks a lot like MJ with a bag over their head coming out of said van. And now let's take a look. Look at the number there. 127602. Let's take a look at what this one was. Wait for it. Wait for it. And 127602. And while it's blurry, you can see it. So you make up your own decisions and conclusions. Like I said, I'm just here to entertain and make you guys laugh. Poor Michael Jackson. Cheers for him and his millions and millions and millions of fans and dollars that he doesn't get to enjoy anymore. Entertainment only.
Okay. So he shows it with the with the plate, but I had seen that, about 5 years ago. Kobe 2014. I just ordered the calendar and it's $90 for a year. So there you go. That's what I'd seen that I wanted to go back to so that way I could let you know. So Kobe is saying that Steve Jarvis's moon phase calendar for a year is $90. And so there you go. Wanted to make sure that you knew that. Okay, so also I wanted to tell you, I want to remind you about the Godly Granny sale, not to forget that tonight is the last night on the new releases that's been going on for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I don't know. It's been crazy. Okay, let's look. I want to see here. Magnesium Boost Pain Cream with vitamin D3 and MSM. This helps my shoulder. So this is a review left on godlygranny.com. This helped my shoulder so much. I broke it in 2018 and it bothers me a lot. I can use this during the day when I work and I love it. There you go. Tanya says about the plant-powered liquid laundry detergent. I love this product, especially the Clean Linen. That's a new scent. Clean Linen also comes in a dryer ball bliss oil. So, I don't know if you know this, but when you have a laundry detergent that is clean, non-toxic, what happens is usually it's not going to be a strong scent. And so that's left on the laundry, so on your clothing. So that's why we did dryer ball bliss oils. And so you have that as a dryer ball bliss oil so that you put that on dryer balls and you put those in the dryer, and that helps to make sure that your laundry has that scent. I like lavender when it comes to my towels, but I love the sheets in Clean Linen. We all love Clean Linen at our home. But anyway, so we have that in the dryer ball bliss oil and also in the liquid laundry detergent. It's the newest one. It says, thank you, Godly Granny. Thank you, Tanya. That's so good. Oh, a infused honey review. Love all the honeys. This is from Janet P., which is also Grammy. Says, love all the honeys and sometimes just open a jar and scoop out a little taste. Yummy. I love it. I love it. That's funny. Okay. It's fresh linen. What did I say, Producer Ron? Oh, you said clean. I said clean linen. That's right. I was reading what Tanya said. That's right. He says, isn't it fresh linen? Yes, it's fresh linen. Oh my goodness. All right. I hope that helps. But there was another video too. If I end up coming across it, that is also on the day that Michael Jackson passed away. I'm looking for a second video. There's a second one, and it has to do with the sightseeing truck that it was like one of those, like reminding me of like a Datsun truck, but it had seats and like 6 people were seated in it. Plus, I think the driver, I think it was 6 plus the driver, but the car pulled up just enough, the little truck, sightseeing vehicle pulled up just enough for you to see the back. And it was either numbered, like a taxi has a number, it was numbered, and it was either 71 or 17. And then I showed you about the ambulance, and the ambulance was what, 71. So you think mirror and all that stuff. So who knows? Who knows? I'm just presenting it so you can decide what you believe and what you think. Is he alive? Is he dead? I don't know. I don't really lose any sleep over it. I'm just saying. And so, but anyways, okay. So I have to read this to you. Cousin 77 says, so when you go to the gas pump or when you go to pump gas, bring a Phillips screwdriver. Thought that was a riot. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then she also says, I have a similar story of someone asking me to switch seats. It was a pilot. So him and his wife could sit together. I said, nope. So he sat next to me. She sat next to a 400-pound man. Little gentleman, the pilot who sat next to me was nope. What a jerk. They got in a big argument. I guess she was jealous because he sat next to me when she should have sat next to me anyways. I thought it was funny. Oh my goodness. All right. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. Don't forget tomorrow, the dog doc. He's a doctor who has all these remedies that are holistic. And so I'll be interested to hear about his remedies and how it impacted dogs being able to live longer. Praise God for people like that, right? And so doing that kind of stuff. And that's really what we're trying to do here with Godly Granny and on the Michelle Moore Show is help you live a healthier life, a cleaner life, and be able to get away from the hospitals and the doctor's offices and be able to walk in the calling and the plans and the purposes for which you were created. Hope you have a great night, and we'll see you right here next time on the Michelle Moore Show.
Ever read the ingredients on your everyday products and think, wait, is this shampoo or a science experiment? If your lotion needs a translator, a lab coat, and a warning label, it might be time for a change. Godly Granny products are made with purpose, love, and ingredients you can actually recognize. No mystery chemicals, no toxins, just clean, simple goodness. The way Granny would have wanted, because your skincare shouldn't require a chemistry degree. From shampoo, lotion, skincare, and all natural health remedies, Godly Granny has everything your family needs. It's no wonder we have over 1,200 5-star reviews from our amazing customers to prove it. Join the families just like yours who've switched to Godly Granny. Visit godlygranny.com and sign up for our emails to receive a special discount code for 10% off your first order, plus exclusive updates and information on newly released products.
My wife and I have always had a preparedness mindset, but having an actual antibiotic or a prescription medication, that was a void we'd never been able to fill. I was amazed that you could get the Jace case and order it and have it shipped to you. And the fact that it included so many different medications, I take that Jace case with me wherever I go. It's something that provides me comfort and peace in knowing that I have that with me in case of an emergency.
Go to jace.com. Be sure to use the discount code Michelle10 at checkout to receive special savings on your purchase.
Hi friends, it's Michelle Moore. And when it comes to protecting your retirement, I believe in taking smart, steady steps. Bank of America analysts call gold the ultimate safe haven, and when it comes to precious metals, I trust Universal Coin and Bullion, the official rare coin and bullion dealer of my show. They have been named the best in their industry both nationally and regionally by leading organizations. Consider a gold IRA, a time-tested way to diversify your portfolio with real tangible assets, which lets you move a portion of your retirement savings into physical gold, helping protect your wealth from inflation, market swings, and economic uncertainty. And Universal Coin and Bullion makes the process easy. From rollovers to delivery, they walk you through every step, even if you have one with another gold company. Protect what you've worked so hard to build from the team that I trust, Universal Coin and Bullion, at 800-321-8700, and make sure to tell them Michelle sent you.
Hi, I'm Linda Bamber Olson, the inventor of the Wave Watch, the world's first frequency therapy watch. It features over 1,100 targeted frequencies combined into 150 playlists for ease of use. These sounds are acoustical and they move through your body, through your skin and your bones. You don't necessarily have to hear it. As each frequency goes through, it can be realigning, revitalizing, reconnecting, and even rebalancing your body all the way to the cellular level. So that's why we have so many testimonies for aches, ADD and ADHD, allergies, colds and flu, dental, emotions, headaches, joints, kidney stones, nerves, organs, skin health, swelling, tremors, vagus nerve, and so many more. Use this code for $100 off when you purchase the Wave Watch. Thanks for learning about frequencies, using them, and supporting the Wave Watch.
For Michelle's social media links, go to michellemooreshow.com.